Jefferson Elementary School principal, in particular, Dr. Denise Eisman. Thank you very much, Denise Eisman. Doctor, thank you very much. Love Jefferson Elementary School. It's my home district, so it's great to be here. I drove here, by the way. It's like around the block. But I want to, as we start every Mayor's Night Out, we start with our local councilman. So let's bring up our 5th District Councilman, Councilman Dave Werpel.
Thank you, and I'll be as brief as I can. First of all, I'd like, with the mayor, to thank Dr. Eisman for letting us have Jefferson School. I know her and I went to high school together, and if you'd ask anybody that graduated with us if I'd be doing what I'm doing and she's doing what she's doing, they'd be laughing at you. But anyway, I'm not going to bore you all with a bunch of projects we're doing and all that stuff. This is the 21st year of the Mayor's Night Out, and I can remember during the campaign, the mayor promised that he'd be accessible. Not only would he be accessible to the constituents, but so would all the department heads. And I could stand here and lie to you and take a bunch of credit for everything. But if it wasn't for these people, absolutely nothing would get done. And this is my 8th year doing it, and there was some pressure on me because I'm following a great councilman, Michael Pinker, who's happened to be in the audience, and I like the pressure, I like the challenge, I like to find out every time I have a question, one of these department heads, my dad told me the other day, he hated when I was a kid because my favorite word was why. And I do that to these department heads, and they always explain it to me. And so does the mayor, and so does Scott Miller, and all that. But other than that, I really don't have anything else to say. And Mayor, I'll turn it back over to you.
Thanks, Councilman. You know, Dave doesn't promote himself very well sometimes. I want to say thanks to the councilman as a resident of the 5th District for the work he's done over there in Dowling Park, around the pond over there. And he's taken a personal interest in that area, and he's done a lot of work that you don't see councilmen of districts stepping up like that very often. He's really taken under his leadership and pointed out multiple times that's his only park in the 5th District, which blows my mind when you think about it, because Hessville Park's right there, but that's technically not our district. So I just want to say thanks, Dave, and congratulations. So anyway, it's great to be back in the 5th. I want to thank the elected officials that are in attendance, if you don't mind. I want to start off with Councilman Dave Werpel again. Thank you, Dave. Our 4th District Councilman, Bill Emerson. Thank you very much, Councilman. Our 2nd District Councilman, Alice Salinas. Thank you, Councilman. Our Councilwoman at Large, Janet Venez. Councilman at Large, Dan Spitali. Lake County Councilman representing Hammond, Dave Ham. Thank you, Dave. School Board Trustee Carlotta Blake King. Thank you very much. And School Board Trustee Cindy Murphy. Thank you. And our Council President Scott Rakos. Thank you very much. This is a team effort. Councilman Werpel said it, and I say the same thing. Yeah, department heads are great. They care, they live here, surround us, the council and I, the partnership that we've developed over the last 20 years. If there's a reason, we did some calculations a little bit ago, and we've realized that the city of Hammond, since I've been mayor, has brought in over $1 billion in new assessed value. And that's it's amazing when you think about it. Our city was worth about $2 billion, and it's worth a little over $3 billion right now. After 20 years, that's a lot of hard work that we've done between the council and the mayor and you all allowing us to do it, and I don't think we're stopping. We still have constant interest from new businesses that want to move here, and the more people that want to help us pay our tax bill, the lower our tax bill is going to go and the better our quality of life is going to be. So it seems to be working, so I want to flip it around on Dave and say thank you, Dave, for what you do in the 5th, and thanks to the council members that are here, because that partnership is proving fruitful for our city. So thank you, guys. All right, now that everybody's happy, let's talk issues. We're going to start off and introduce the department heads as we do. We've been doing Mayor's Night Out since I first became mayor. We used to do 11 a year, and then we cut it back to 6. We've been doing 6 for about the last 12 years. It seems to work well. We have 6 districts in the city. So this is our one visit to the 5th, our one planned visit. It doesn't mean I come to the 5th every day of my life, so I drive through every district pretty much every day of my life. But let's go ahead and introduce the department heads, starting off with Mark McLaughlin, who's trying to hide over there. Mark McLaughlin, Hammond Water Department, resident of the 5th District.
Yes. Hi,
Right.
Mark McLaughlin, Hammond Waters. The mayor just pointed out.
Resident of the 5th District. Jeff Massey, who's like right there. Jeff Massey, also a resident of the 5th District, is superintendent of the, is that what the title is? I'm horrible with titles. Superintendent of the Hammond Sanitary District. Hi, Jen.
Hi, Jen Bussey, Hammond Development Corporation.
Carmen Paniagua, Housing Authority.
Andy Short, Hammond Police.
Juan J. Moreno, Economic Development.
Andrea Lewis, United Neighborhoods, Inc.
Ann Taylor, Planning and Development.
Owana Miller, Community Development.
Bob Vale, Building Department.
Mylan Krasinski, Sanitary District.
Jeff Smith, Port Authority.
Kevin Smith, Corporation Counsel.
Scott Miller, Chief of Staff.
Ron Novak, Environmental Management.
Nicholas Farrow, Code Enforcement.
Tom Novak, City Planning, also resident of the 5th District.
Sharon Daniels, Personnel and College Bound.
Bernie Grizzlia, Hammond Fire Department.
Dean Button, Engineering.
Chris Sacaleras, Hammond Legal Aid Clinic.
Felix Gonzalez, Public Works.
Jack Smith, Sewer Department.
Kelly Kearney, Inspections.
Jim Talon, Park Department.
Megan Flores, City Controller.
Chris Campbell, Information Technology.
Hey, do me a favor. Department heads, all you that live in the 5th District, raise your hand. All right, pretty solid. It's a weird quirk. I haven't been doing this long. Weird quirk. I found out that my park department is run by a bunch of people from the 6th District. It's just weird how things work out like that. It's not like I was going around looking for residents at Hespo when I was hiring into the park department, but we do, I constantly try to hire people from all over the city. I want my workforce to look like our city. That's my goal all the time. So anyway, thank you for being here. Mayor's Night Out works on the written question. So right now, I have Christy over here, I have Noemi over here, I have Eileen over there, but she doesn't have the questions. Who else has the questions? I got Jessica in the back with written questions with the clipboard. That's how you keep it going. If you want it to end, stop writing questions, right? Once the questions run out, we all go home. All right? Sometimes people want to raise their hand. That's not how you keep Mayor's Night Out going. We'll do that if it relates to a written question, but this is all about the written question. So I know we have a few, which is, we got what, 5 or 6 or more?
Quite a few, under 10.
So keep it going, okay? Write a written question, go up. Sometimes people put their name on it. Most times people put their name and address, so we could follow it up. It's not like I'm sending it to collections or anything. We follow it up because we want to tell you how we're doing on that issue. But sometimes if you want to remain anonymous, that's fine, okay? So you have options. I think I explained it well enough. If we're talking about Dowling Park, and you have and it's a written question about Dowling Park, and you have a question about Dowling Park, raise your hand. And then we'll come up to you and you're like, hey, I had a question about Dowling Park. And then we'll answer it, right? But if we're talking about Dowling Park and you raise your hand and we come up to you and you're like, the garbage pickup sucks. We're like, you should probably do a written question for that. And then we can talk about the garbage pickup, right? So keep it alive with the written questions and then stay on topic. That's all we ask, okay? I don't mind if you criticize me, it happens often, right? We're on Go Hammond TV. Sometimes we have people with microphones like Alex over here, who's Constituent Services, Eileen, who's the Special Events Coordinator. They come up to you and they act weird with the microphone sometimes because they hold it right up to your face, right? We're not trying to be rude. We're trying to get it into the TV so that the people at home could hear it, okay? And then they're weird about you grabbing the microphone too, so just cruise with it, speak in the microphone. It'll go on Go Hammond TV. It's a great meeting. All right, sounds like a lot of rules, but want to go ahead and get us started, Eileen? How you doing, by the way?
Good, how are you, Mayor?
Good. It's beautiful outside. It's 80. It's in September. It's gorgeous. It's been sunny for 2 weeks straight.
Yes, it has been.
Beautiful.
Ready for some fall weather. What is the current status on Governor's Parkway Bridge?
Dang, man. Jump right into it.
Right into it.
Current status of Governor's Parkway Bridge. As a reminder, Governor's Parkway Bridge is a proposal that was submitted to the state, approved by the state. It's being run by the state, NDOT. Okay, they approved it, and they're building a bridge at our request over railroad tracks in Hessville to get us over the perpetually stopped trains. Now, I realize the trains have been rallying lately, and it's not stopped as bad as it was. I realize that, right? That's a temporary situation. This is state money. It's a lot of state money. They're paying for to solve a problem in Hammond, and if we say no, it'll never come back. It'll be a decade before we're in this position again. So I'm pushing forward, but I'm not doing it like a cowboy. I talked to the neighbors twice, the entire neighborhood, the affected area. We sent out a survey. We asked questions like, do you support this? This is what it's going to look like. It's going to take out trees. Do you still support it? And 2 times, we got overwhelming response back. And I'm not afraid to kill a project. I've been mayor a long time. I've done surveys my entire career. I do it the same way. And sometimes the project goes through. Sometimes we kill projects because of the survey. 4th District. Councilman Bill, we had a project in your district I thought was a genius idea. 175th and 174th. I blocked it off. We were like, we're going to quiet this neighborhood. We're going to cut the traffic down. The neighbors are going to love it. The neighbors hated it. And they told us in a survey, we hate it. I loved it. I thought it was going to solve all the world's problems. They hated it. We pulled out the barriers. So I'm not afraid to kill a project if the neighbors hate it. My job is not to do things you hate. I wouldn't be here 21 years if I was doing things you hate. If I was like, what am I going to do to piss off Hammond residents today? I don't think I'd be here 6 terms later. I try to do what you want and what we need. We're getting free money to get us over train tracks at the expense of trees. I acknowledge we're going to knock down trees. I acknowledge it. A couple hundred. We're going to replant trees, I promise you, but like that doesn't ease the pain of that. So that's what there's other people that probably tell you other things, but that's where I'm sitting. Councilman, the council president, and I have worked closely on this. Council president was contested in his race, Scott Rakos. The central theme of your race, Scott, was he's going to build this bridge, right? It was really like the main attack at you. So it's sort of like a referendum. Scott's running in a contested primary. His opponent is all about killing the bridge project. And if he won, he probably still wouldn't have been able to kill the bridge project because I support it, right? But he runs against Scott. Scott's running against him. Scott's supporting the project. His opponent's against the project. Scott wins easily. So in my mind, I'm thinking another confirmation that the residents like the project. Not only have I done 2 surveys in the area, Scott ran on that issue and won. Listen, I don't like knocking trees down. I planted more trees than I've knocked down in 21 years. But if I could knock a few trees down, build something that's going to get us over the top of stop trains, I would be committing malpractice if I didn't do it. So obviously I'm supportive of this project. I realize there's opponents of this, and they follow me around. God bless you. I just like the fact that you care about the city. So here we are. That's the current status. The state's running it. We support it. I think it's a great idea. I've seen evidence that my bosses, you guys, think it's a great idea, and I'm all in. All in. Dean, help me out. Dean's city engineer, professional engineer, licensed by the state of Indiana.
Yes, sir.
Do you support this project?
Yes, sir.
Why? Because I'm your boss and I'm telling you to?
No, I mean,
That's what people think.
This was, I'm sorry to say, but this was my idea, right? I mean, this came back, a meeting that we were coming back from Portage at NERC, and we were trying to brainstorm about what could we do to improve the block train system in Nashville.
And it was brutal at the time.
You told me this is a problem since the beginning of my administration, do something about it.
Dean, we pulled up a newspaper article from the Times from like the 1920s. And the mayor of Hammond was bitching about stop trains in Hessville. Well, I guess 1920s it doesn't work because Hessville wasn't a part of Hammond then. But it was a long time ago. And the mayor of Hammond was complaining about stop trains. And it's like, this will go on for another 30 years if we don't fix it or else get flying cars. I thought by now we'd have flying cars and we wouldn't have to worry about this, but it hasn't proved fruitful. Sorry.
So we came up with an idea. I even informally surveyed some city staff who lived in Hessville and asked them if we were to close a road, what 2 roads could you close and have the 3rd one open, but it would always be open? And my colleague Mark Gordish said he couldn't come up with a solution. He was like, there's too many different options. And so I looked at the map and saw this area that was open ground that wouldn't affect current Hammond residents, that was two-thirds was owned by the city of Hammond, and I pitched the idea to the state with your concurrence.
And the state approved it?
And the state approved it. And then,
What's the current status right now? Like right now?
we're waiting for the National Environmental Policy Act document, the NEPA document, the environmental document that every federal project, construction project has to go through to get approval.
When they talk about environmental in federal projects, it's not the environment like we think. It's everything. It's the ground. It's everything, right? The impact on the neighborhood. They're doing like a universal look at this project.
Noise, sound,
So, like,
endangered species.
There is a potential that the state could kill it. Is that true?
No, well, federal highway could
Federal
kill
highway
it,
could kill it.
but there's no real possible way for the government to kill this. This is the preferred alternative. Other alternatives have been looked at. The state supports it. The U.S. Department of Transportation is supporting it. We're just waiting for.
Dean, last mayor's night, there was a gentleman that stood up and said I was lying to everybody, that we were in control of the project, basically, and that when I said the state is running it, this gentleman said you're basically lying to the residents.
It's not true. You are correct.
So you're not running
are
this
a local
project at
sponsor.
all through the engineering department? We're not picking engineers. We're not like hiring.
Not at all. This was set up in the legislature, the Indiana legislature, to fund this project, and NDOT is 100% in control of the design of this project.
100%.
We pitched the project. They looked at all the alternatives, and they hired the consultant, which they do to design this project, and the consultant looked at it and agreed with our ideas being the cheapest, simplest, less burdensome on the residents,
which is
less effect on the environment, right?
Which
There
is
an
super
effect.
tough in Hessville. We're trying to build another bridge in another part that would get us over trains, just residential, and the impact on the neighborhood's tremendous. Tremendous. And that's just a little up and down over the tracks, not like what we're talking about here.
Right.
Like, so, I mean, some of these ideas being pitched that we're not discussing at length because it's not going to happen, but some of these ideas would impact hundreds of houses.
Exactly. And we are not in control of this project. If we rolled back this project, if we said we are not going to, the Hammond no longer supports this project, then we have to reimburse NDOT for all the design money that they have invested into this project now.
And we would never get the bridge.
And the bridge would be at least a decade. We've been working on this project for 7 years now.
Oh, for sure.
So,
sure.
and we're still not through the environmental process.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mayor.
I support this. I understand there's multiple viewpoints on this, and I still support it because this is when it sucks to be the mayor, because I'm not wired to repel my bosses. I'm not wired to anger you so much that you're voting against me. But sometimes as mayor, you got to do the right thing, even though you're going to lose a couple votes. Okay? This is the right thing to do, guys. Free money to solve a problem. This is what you do when you're in mayor. We don't have enough money to solve all of our problems, and the state wants to pay for one. And I'm being urged to turn it down and say, we want a tunnel instead. Talk to you in a decade, if we get approved. Talk to you in a decade. In the meantime, we get to stop for the trains. I'm going to do the right thing. I'm going to build this bridge with the assistance of the state, and we're going to drive over those stop trains in Hessville, okay? And then we'll debate next time I run whether or not I did the right thing. I can handle that. That's where I sit, and I realize there's people in the audience that want to talk, so let's talk. And I want to also remind you that this is Mayor's Night Out. We're going to have a multiple topics that we're going to discuss, so. Anybody? Hey, Ken. What's that?
I did not call you a liar.
Okay.
Okay. You said I called you a liar. I didn't call you a liar.
I didn't say it.
Yes, you did. You just said that at the beginning of
right.
tonight. You said that
I
I called you a liar.
I appreciate your apology.
And I never called you a liar.
All right. What do you got?
I said you were being disingenuous.
What do you got, Ken?
The Federal Railway Administration told us that if we decided to go with the underpass or a Grand Avenue solution, that they would switch up and pay for it right now. So when I hear that it's going to take 10 years, this is what they told us.
I'm sure.
okay?
You ran for,
Excuse
you
me,
ran
Mayor,
for
this
city
is the
council.
question.
Listen, dude,
Okay,
this
did
is
you
mayor's
know
night
that
out.
this
Listen,
bridge was not
listen.
gonna solve the
Hold
problem?
on, Eileen, hold on. You're at mayor,
You put in thousands of dollars into that race against me just to win this project, okay? And so, yes, I came. up
everything I did in that
78
race is a public record.
I came up 78 votes short, okay? Considering what I was up against.
Are we talk, I don't want to talk about your failed political aspirations, Ken. I want to talk about issues at mayor's night. What's that?
Your survey did get until question 6. Did they let anybody know
All right,
that you were going to tear down not hundreds, thousands of trees?
okay.
And you never seem to mention that this is the last remnant of the High Tolston dunes, the last dunes in Hammond. 4,700
Gibson Woods,
old, and you did not.
Gibson Woods is literally a half a mile from here. Gibson Woods is about 20 times larger, and Gibson Woods are dune and swale, dunes, protected by the state of Indiana. So anyway, so let's move on to the next question. All right, anybody else? I'm sorry, you have follow-ups on this? I'm sure there's other people. Hi. How you doing? Thanks for coming to Mayor's Night.
So, Mayor, excuse me, but we have to consider that Gibson Woods is not providing the community what the Briar East Woods provides the community. If we speak just in terms of flooding, we have to think about how much water is soaked up into these woods, okay? That alone is a huge thing that Gibson Woods cannot even compare,
Thank you.
okay?
Dean, microphone, please. Was it hard to become a professional engineer?
I would say yes. It's
How
not,
long did you
it's
have to
not
study
easy.
for that? You had to have an engineering degree.
Well, you need 4 years of accredited engineering school, right? You need to pass that. You have 4 years of practical experience, and then you take an examination that's quite rigorous.
So like, I imagine you thought about this issue that was brought up about water that may be displaced by this project. I imagine these kind of thoughts probably passed through all the engineers.
It's all part of the design, right?
Right.
Drainage in the project. I mean, we don't route drainage from other parts of the community into this area, right? All of the water that sort of lands on the roads and pavement, it runs off to our sewer system, and we have capacity for that. And then whatever new developments that occur, we have detention. It's a requirement by the U.S. government to have detention for your improvements, and this project accounts for all that. So all the water contained within the project limits stays within the project
Because this
site.
is a normal thing. We were talking today in City Hall about another project in another part of the city, and we are already prepared to answer questions like the one I just got about displacing water and have we accounted for that. That's a natural question, so I appreciate the question. And I appreciate the fact that we have a professional engineer and a team of professional engineers that look at this, because I don't know anything about this kind of stuff. I'm just a mayor, so I don't understand the stuff that Dean does. So anyway, any other questions? Hi, about this issue? Hi, Cindy. Trustee Murphy, nice to see you.
Thank you. I have been in support of this since the beginning.
Thank you.
I live in
And you
Hussville.
and you live in Hussville?
Yes, and daily, the trains are dangerous for our students. This is not only going to be, oh my God, I have to wait until the train goes to get over there. This overpass also allows our students to go over instead of trying to go over the tracks. So daily, people are either doing a 911 or they're doing photo ops of these kids going over stopped trains.
Yes, ma'am.
This is a safety issue. Not only that, I spoke at INDOT in favor of the project when it was over at Scott Middle School. There is so much positive thing. I have done a lot of environmental science with both the Indiana Dunes and over at Gibson Woods. So when they tore all the trees down, the natural part of this area is oak savanna. It's prairie. And as I spoke at that once, rain gardens instead of retention ponds, this is a good project for that area because we can actually bring it back to where it was, just like at Gibson Woods.
Thank you.
So 110 in support of the project.
Councilman Scott, would you grab the microphone real quick? Could you help me out here? You're the councilman of that district. I rely on the local councilman a lot to give me the temperature of the district. I mean, you ran on this issue, right?
I did.
You support it?
I was 100% in support of it. I remember talking to Dean 4 or 5 years ago and thinking it was a nice, simple thing, I brought up the overpass over Grand Avenue and explained to me it wouldn't work. You'd have to take out part of the church, you'd have to take out 6 to 8 houses. It's just not that simple. Engineer, like you said, I didn't know engineering. He explained it to me. And then the more we looked into it, the way we have it planned now is maybe 2 houses have to be taken out.
Two.
2.
Well, I mean, maybe 3. It's like every other alternative you look at is dozens.
Right.
Because Hessville there's dozens of houses like right next to each other. So if you have to take a little part of a block, you have to take multiple houses.
Exactly. Also, the last place you want to do is take all your traffic from Hessville, instead of going down the middle on Parrish, the last place you want to do is take it by 3 schools down Grand.
True.
And I've talked to people that work with the sewer department. You cannot put an underpass underneath either Parrish or Grand. It just doesn't make sense at this point. We've done the work. We let the state do what they have to do, and I full support still.
Thank you, Councilman. Hi. This seems to be a topic. Hi, nice to see you.
Oh, great. I just wanted to say thank you because there's issues like this that take all of you to research this, that you have to make these really hard decisions for the community, that sometimes when people are stuck in their small homes, each home, individual home, where they're not looking at the whole community as a whole, it's hard to envision the decisions that you're making and how hard they are. As a small business owner, sometimes we have to make, as a large city, make decisions that demolish things that we love, especially everybody loves green space.
Mhm.
Everybody loves green space. Who wants to get rid of it? But sometimes we have to look and weigh what takes this and what takes that, and we have to make hard decisions for that. So I just want to say thank you for making these decisions, and I trust that you guys are taking everything into, your powers and making the best decision for the community. So I don't think you guys here thank you enough.
When I took over as mayor, and I appreciate that, it's sweet of you. When I took over as mayor, the people that up here, well, they didn't do mayor's night out, but the people in this table were not Hammond residents. And I could tell you every single person that makes decisions on our behalf they're your neighbor. We want what's best. Even if we're being selfish, we want what's best because we live here. So I don't have a problem with Ken. I don't have a problem with people that care deeply about this project. I don't. Ken himself is a Navy Submariner. I'm a Navy Submariner. Ken's a good guy. He cares about this issue. I'm not mad about it, right? But I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and tell you I'm not supporting this project. I do, but it is being driven by the state with our consent. So appreciate you all being here. Thank you for coming to Mayor's Night. I'm going to bounce forward to the next topic. Oh, do we have a follow-up? You want to? Yeah. Hi.
Oh, sorry. I just wanted to voice support for this as well. That was one of the reasons I came tonight, is I wanted to make sure that this was addressed. But I just thought it was kind of ironic that they put emergency response times will increase threat. I don't understand how.
I'm glad you brought this up. I'm glad you brought this up. I guess it really depends on your perspective, because Hess School, for instance, right? It's literally the southeast corner of the city of Hammond, right, Trustee? Hess School. Hess School response times from Station 8 with a stopped train. Where's my fire chief?
Over here. Right here.
Hey, fire chief.
Hey, Mayor.
What's the response time to Hess School with a stopped train in Hessville? It could get a little hairy, right?
Absolutely. Like, we try to respond to most calls under 4 minutes. Hammond Fire Department, we're fortunate to have a combination fire department providing EMS service along with fire service. We do respond to over 1,200 calls a month, so it is very important, the response times, Mayor.
But like, what do you think? I mean,
we
with the
probably
stop
go
train,
for-
it screws up response
Oh, yeah,
time.
we're at least probably 10 minutes, maybe even 12 minutes. Try to get on expressway, accidents, delay, we could be up to 15, 18 minutes, so.
Chief?
We're here to
Other
respond
chief?
quick.
Hi, Chief. Chief Andy? If it's a response time like that for the fire department, I imagine your response times are similar if there's a stop train in Hessville, right?
Oh, I would say probably, there are times probably about 15 minutes because we're trying to save lives here. That's what that bridge is all about, saving lives. If you've ever been on the receiving end of a call that you can't get to and you can hear the person yelling and crying because they're getting beat up, how can you not support this? How can you not? Because think about it. It might be you that I got to come to, and I got to get on 80, 94 to get to you. Just think about that. That makes it even longer.
Or it could be an emergency in one of our schools. I don't know. This is it's not a tough issue. It's tough because I know you guys care so much. That's why it's tough. Not that this is a tough issue. This is a smart thing that I'm doing for the city, that we're doing for the city. It's tough because I know you guys care. And I'm not a monster, and I don't want to hurt your feelings. I know you care about this, but we got to go forward with this because it's the right thing to do. That's what makes it tough, because you guys care so much. That's what makes it tough. Not that this is a tough decision. It's the right decision as the mayor. Hi, how's it going, bud?
How's it going?
Thanks for coming.
Oh, thank you.
This guy goes, just like he comes to Mayor's Night Out, they go to city council meetings. This group, they go to, I know him, I see him in the public. So like, as mayor, how could you be mad at somebody like this? It's like, what I want to have is a city of people that care, right? And they care, and they follow me around, but I just don't agree with them on this issue. And I'm not going to go their way, but it doesn't mean I'm mad at them. They're nice people trying to do a good thing that they care about. That's what sucks about it.
So I did have a different question, but I wanted to.
You're throwing a curveball at me. I'm ready for the bridge.
Sorry. No, it's still about that. But regarding the emergency response times, so the reason it says that Governor's Parkway would in fact increase emergency response times is because it would permanently close Parrish Avenue, which is the straightest shot from north to south Hessville. And so if you think about, what a park train would do, well, that would happen on Parrish all the time now. Instead, you'd have to take the detour up and down the dunes. It's a winding, Briar East Woods is 30 acres. So this bridge winds through the entirety of it, and so blocking a straight shot instead of just keeping Parrish open and doing the bridge on Grand Avenue, which is another straight shot, wouldn't be a winding road like Governor's Parkway. This helps emergency response time on both roads.
I appreciate you guys. Thanks for being here, bud. Okay? TJ, right?
Yep.
Thank you.
So, do you have any response to that?
I don't agree with you, bud. And I respect you, though. Okay? I don't agree with you. And I'm not an expert on response times. I rely on experts for that. But I don't agree with you, but I respect you. That's my response. So we're going to move on, guys, because this isn't how Mayor's Night Out work. You don't get to hijack Mayor's Night Out and make it all about one topic, because there's people with other questions besides this issue. It's not even, this is a 6th district issue, and we're in the 5th district right now, so. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, buddy. Good to see you.
No, so you also, I think Aubrey, raised a point.
TJ, we're done. Okay, thank you. I'm going to move on to the next question, all right? I appreciate it. Oh, yeah? Is it about this? I think we covered this topic pretty well. I do. I don't know how much clearer I can make myself, or the engineer, or the fire chief, or the police chief. I don't know how much clearer we can make it. So we're going to move on to the next question and the next topic. So thanks for the question, TJ.
Can we get speed humps installed on Northcott? Cars speed down the street all day long and continually blow the stop signs.
Could be the most common question I've been asked recently. I was riding my bike through Munster. I ride my bike often. Munster's got them now. And I told my engineer, even Munster's got them. So Whiting's got them, Munster has them. And this has been the fear in Hammond since the day I walked in, and the fear was here before I got here. The fear is this. I build one speed bump, and they're going to be everywhere in the city. And some people are like, yay, right? But my street department hates these things, and they have to drive fast across 300 miles of roadway clearing our snow. And we're going to slow their traffic down, which is going to slow the amount of time it takes to clean our streets. I'm not an expert on this. I like experts, so I'm going to go to an expert. Felix, how you doing? Introduce yourself, my friend.
Good, Mayor. I am.
You live in the 6th, right?
5th.
5th, my man. All right.
Yeah, it'll be.
How long you been in charge now, Felix?
Going on 2 years. Yeah.
2 years.
Yeah. So, I don't like them. It's more wear and tear on the trucks.
Nobody told you.
No,
they said, Felix,
no,
when you take this job, you have to hate speed bumps. Did anybody say that to you?
I hate them on my own. No.
You hate them on your own.
No,
Okay.
I don't like hitting them.
Why not?
You have to slow down. It's more wear and tear on our equipment. Our guys work long nights. If you don't see it, if it's covered in snow and you don't realize that it's there, you could bust your hydraulic lines, your plow. It could cause a bunch of issues for us. not to mention probably slow down PD and FD also.
Right. So if we did start doing speed bumps, we'd probably have to have some type of policy that we probably should talk about, right? Because there's no policy like that. Like right now, I think we could build a speed bump anywhere. Kevin, could you grab a microphone? Corporate Counsel Kevin. You look so happy when I called you like that.
Yes, Mayor.
It's like you
I'm
suddenly
happy.
got indigestion when,
I'm
I,
happy.
when I mentioned your name. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't think
now,
there's
If
anything.
we wanted to build a speed bump, we can do it right now with no policy at all, right?
That's accurate.
So like, I don't think that's necessarily a good policy. So that's why we're saying this out loud. We should probably have some type of procedure, some type of standards. Don't you agree?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, and I'm with Felix personally. I saw him go in Munster, and I was like, this is ridiculous.
I knew as soon as they went in Munster, I was toast.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, you see him there, but I agree with Felix. I think they're annoying. I mean, I get their purpose, but to me, they're annoying. That's just my own personal opinion. Sorry.
Scott, when you got hired, did I tell you you had to feel particularly one way or another about speed bumps? Hold on, I'll come to you, sir. I promise.
Absolutely. You know, it's posted on the door.
You must hate speed bumps.
No,
You too.
one idea I did have from a respected community member was there are certain areas of Hammond that don't have sidewalks. And maybe that's an area where we could use that.
Like factors. Like if you're going to build speed bumps, it has to be close to a school. Like stuff like that.
Yes.
It's got to be on a road like Northcott, for instance. Or I heard some people that are like, I live in the first, and they're going real fast to try to beat a train, and they're going right by a school, and they're going fast. These are the types of factors that we should be thinking about if we're going to do this. But I don't think it's a good policy that we could just build a speed bump. Like coming at Mayor's Night Out, I'm like, yes, you get a speed bump. You get a speed bump. That's not good, guys, because then we're going to have speed bumps all over the damn city, okay? So, like, I promise you, I'm going to take homework home, and Dean, we're going to come up with some type of criteria. Sorry.
You know, Mayor, the other thing really that I've seen or experienced is drivers who are disobeying the law anyway by driving fast will roll over a speed bump and hit it even harder,
Yeah.
right? Because they're angry that they had to slow down. So the risk is that it will exacerbate the problem.
So, okay, I promise you we're going to talk about this, and I'm going to have some council people there so that we could try to field. I constantly hear this from residents. I do. I'm not going to lie to you. It's one of the more common complaints to City Hall. But I hope you understand that there's validity in what we're saying as well. So I think that if we come up with some type of criteria, and if it meets like 4 out of the 5 standards or whatever, that we consider going forward, okay? So I'm remiss. Is that Senator Randolph over there? Hi, Senator. I apologize for not recognizing you. That's Indiana State Senator Lonnie Randolph. Thank you very much for being here. Senator Randolph's an important person to me. We're in the middle of a lawsuit that's important. It's a federal lawsuit. We've already lost one round, but we're coming back at him over a Voting Rights Act violation. Senator Randolph's one of the attorneys helping with that case, so I appreciate you. We're taking another swing at it in the 7th Circuit. We should hear something very shortly, but Senator Randolph's been an important part of that, so I appreciate you being here, sir. Thank you. All right, what do we got? Oh, hi, sir. I'm sorry. We were talking about
Mr.
speed
Mayor,
bumps.
that was my question about the speed bumps.
Yes, sir.
I live on the
Northcote.
7800 block of Northcote.
You were at Mayor's Night last month.
Not last month, maybe a couple months ago.
I remember you.
But,
Because I know your house. As soon as you say that, I know where you live.
okay. I hope you like it.
It's nice. It's a beautiful house.
It's just that you can sit, I've got a bench out in front of my house, and I'm retired, so I sit out in front of my house a lot. It's a beautiful block, but
Yes, sir.
the people that drive through there, it's like a drag strip.
Yes, sir.
And I know it's only from 8094 until River Road, but it's still, there's a lot of new families moving in with younger children.
Yes, sir.
And they just blow through that stop sign there on 79th. It's horrible.
And in Munster, it's across the Northcott Bridge where they put them.
Exactly. And you know what? If
I go
they-
down your street on my bike all the
I
time.
understand their question that it cause more damage if they hit it fast, that it cause more damage to their car. God bless it. That's what it's supposed to do. It's
And then they're going to sue
supposed
us.
slow you down. You know, and Munster has 2 on every block. You could have 1 on every block. It would slow them down. At least it would wake it. And as far as not knowing where the plows are, I was a city planner for the city of Chicago for 20 years. That's what the signs are for on the side, so your plow drivers can know, oh, I've got a speed hump coming up. So I mean, you know.
I'm listening, sir, I promise. I appreciate the question.
I just wish that someone would come out there. You could park a squad car on my driveway.
You have a
I've got
cop that lives right by you. I know the officer that lives right by you. He's got his car in front of him.
There's several. I
Yeah.
don't want, some of them are here. I don't want to mention any names. But we've
He's
all
usually
sat,
here.
we've all sat out in front and watched as these people drive through like maniacs, 50, 60 miles an hour
I
going
got
down
you.
the street.
Got you. I get it. I understand. I know what you're talking about. I understand why they're going fast. As soon as you get over the bridge, they have speed humps in Munster, which exacerbates
Yeah,
it.
you can see the drag strip, the tires.
I hate that when they come into Hammond and the speed goes up 15 miles an hour automatically. I'm listening. I promise you we're going to follow this up, okay?
Okay,
Thank you, sir. Thanks for coming to Mayor's Night. Do me a favor, quick poll, Hammond residents in the audience. By a show of hands, this is going to be educational. If you hate speed bumps, raise your hand, please. If you hate them. Whoa! I'm shocked. If you love speed bumps, raise your hand. Oh, 2 hands, that doesn't work. I know it's Lake County. They're like, okay. All right, that's interesting. Okay, so this is an interesting topic. Thank you for bringing it up. We have one in the back. Hi, sir. Hi. Go
Hi,
Irish.
I live
Go
on-
Irish.
Yeah, I live across the street on 170th Street. 170th Street is a one-way street. My alley is used going the opposite direction. Now down here at Northcott and 170th Street, it's a T alley.
I know what you're talking about.
These cars fly down that alley.
Okay. You're in the right place.
And I actually told Dave about it. He said he checked into it. I have no problem with a cop sitting in my backyard.
Okay. I don't know
Because
about that.
I'm just worried about the kids.
I know. I get you. I appreciate
They
you.
come
You're at
around
the
that
right
corner
place.
there because the street's being a one-way.
Agree with you. That makes
and
sense.
also,
Hold on.
that street
Chief,
has.
you came to the right place to make a complaint like that, right?
Oh, I know, Andy.
I know, but I just want Chief to be like, yes, you came to the right place. Because then what he
Yeah.
does, he goes back, talks to patrol, and he's like, you guys got to get your asses over there because we're getting complaints at Mayor's Night. That's how it works, okay? You're at the right place. And Chief, you got it, right?
Ditto.
And it's going to roll downhill, this issue.
Then
It'll roll
also
right
that's,
downhill.
okay, also that street is residential parking.
Yes.
When my mom was alive, she wasn't allowed to pull into her parking spot because the parents wouldn't move their car. I had to get a permit from the police department for residential parking. So when I came to her house, I could park there.
It's residential because they don't want school traffic over there, right?
Well, they don't want cars parked there. 'cause
From
it
the
says-
school, right.
From the school,
Right.
when they pick up kids.
Right. It's there to protect you,
They
right?
park there, but when the people who live on that street cannot get to their front of their house, and it turns into a pissy match.
That's stupid. I agree. I'd be pissed.
I mean, and the one time.
Did
I
you
even showed
did you
them
fill
this-
out a questionnaire, sir?
No, I didn't. I just
Could you?
I was just
Could
doing
you? Just at least put your name down with like this
Dave
issue?
Dave knows who I am.
You followed up. I know. Sometimes a written thing is good for me because it hits my desk and I'm like, oh my God, that guy at Mayor's Night. That's why we have you do it. I appreciate it. You came to the right place. Thank you, sir.
Mayor, although Billy looks older than me, we grew up in the same neighborhood.
Oh yeah? Nice. Thanks. Thanks, Billy. Okay.
Has the city considered converting some struggling commercial or even industrial zoned areas to provide new construction homes for sale in Hammond?
That's such a great question right now. I mean, I had a meeting today on a project that we're doing a public meeting on at Affiliate Steen Center about an infill project in Memorial Park. Like, that's exactly what that question, it makes me think that one of my staff members wrote that question. It's so perfect. No, I mean, literally today, we're setting up a public meeting to talk at the Affiliate Steen Center about a multi-million-dollar project that involves senior assisted living center, and if I remember correctly, how many single-family homes? 31 single-family homes. 28, excuse me, which is great. And they're going to be new construction homes built in the 3rd District, and there's a demand for it, and we're excited about it. And one thing I've noticed as your mayor is when we do this in other parts of the city, the lots take off, and we expect that to happen here too. So I'm excited about it. And if the lot, so anyway, I'm excited about it. I don't know if they have any follow-ups on that, but we're literally had a meeting on this today, and we're having a community meeting set up currently. So thank you for the question. All right, let's move on.
Will Hammond ever have TNR services without being fined, including no fines for feeding?
I don't know. DNR? Oh, for animals?
Feed feral cats, you can get fined.
Hammond, it's on the books, you mean? Okay.
If you get them TNR'd, trap, neuter, release, they get their vaccinations, they get flea treatments, and then it's like, I've lived in this district most of my life. I
Thank
have
you.
never seen more stray cats.
Me too, by the way.
And
Lately,
it's-
I've seen a lot of, well, I think it's my neighbor.
And it's because
I hope she's not watching.
Griffith has a TNR program, Hobart, Highland, Munster.
I've never heard of this, ma'am.
Everybody
Is there-
has a TNR.
Could you get us information on it, and I'll take a look at it? You can give it to Eileen right there. Thank you. I love animals. We have animal issues in Hammond.
Well, it's also written that if you feed the cats or TNR, if someone turns you in, you can get fined. And it's healthier for the cat,
Right.
for the neighborhood,
Okay.
and everything.
Sometimes on our books, I acknowledge Hammond's a 130-year-old city, right? 130? We have some ordinances on the books that go all the way back, right, Kev?
They do. Like you can't. I think there's still one that says you can't fly a hot air balloon in certain parts of the city, but
So don't fly hot air balloons in Hammond. We'll fine you. It's like probably $2.50 fine or something like that, because it was made 100 years ago, right? So sometimes our ordinance book is a little out of date, and we clean them up as we go along, and an issue like this is important, so I appreciate the information.
Well, and most of the places, like Griffith and that, they get grants to help do it.
That's great.
So,
We'll check it out, I promise. Thank you, ma'am.
thank you.
Mhm. Any follow-up on that? You know, Hammond Animal Control facts? Who wants to speak for Hammond Animal Control? Rob? Hey, what's up? Can we get Rob a microphone back there? This is Captain Bunner. He's not used to talking very often at Mayor's Night. He's used to protecting at Mayor's Night, but this is a rare occasion. Hey, Rob, what's up?
Not much. Hi, everybody. Captain Rob Bunner, Patrol Division Commander.
6th District.
6th District, yes, sir.
You also run animal control as part of your division?
Not directly. That's
Okay.
under the administration, but my wife is the director. Of
Oh, okay. Nice.
She couldn't be
So,
here tonight, regretfully.
This, are you familiar with these types of programs? Because I'm going to probably forward it to you.
Somewhat, yes.
Cool.
She's working on it currently.
All right, we'll check it out.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for what you do. And by the way, with the speeding and all that, you hear these complaints that come through, and you go and you're in charge of all the patrol division, right? Thank you, sir. Hi. Hi, sir.
Yeah, no, we're just checking throughout the city of, remember, we're supposed to think Hammond, or Hammond think.
Yeah?
And, BMV is thinking, because, for example, let's say you go get a car, new or used, right away. They want to get you on a plate. And now, let's say later on, you got the car sitting in the backyard or in the alley, and ask the firemen, it's bad enough you got to worry about the cars getting out of the garage. Now you got to worry about a car parked, and that car might be parked, might have some fuel in there. Or now we're doing, a lot of people can't afford a garage. Now they're bringing travel trailers in the backyard, and am I right? Propane.
Yeah.
Liquid propane.
If you see that, you just
Yeah,
call it
it's
in.
right there. That's
No, we've
from-
seen this stuff, and we
We
hit it.
did. It was out there.
But like, if you call it in and we hear about it, we respond.
I'm just saying, you got to check all around.
But okay, I
and
agree.
the thing is, what I'm trying to say is, let's say they have that sit there, and I'm trying to say is the state is making money because when they go back to the BMV, they got to pay a penalty for how many years it's been sitting there.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Case closed.
Appreciate you. Have a nice day. Okay. You got that? Thank you. All right.
Many roads in Hammond need paving. What is the plan for the city of Hammond regarding next year?
Could you repeat the question? I'm sorry.
Many roads in Hammond need paving. What is the plan for the city of Hammond regarding next year?
This is a good question. Okay. the city of Hammond, for the 20 years I've been mayor, and before I took over as mayor, probably at least 15 years before I took over as mayor, we did roads through gaming money, always. And we did well because the gaming boat was doing well. And when the boat's doing well, we're paving roads and we're doing stuff. And when the boat's not doing well, what happens is we stop doing as much road work. And Horseshoe Casino is not doing well. Hard Rock is taking most of the business in the entire region right now. And I fought hard when this came along. Fought hard, so hard I got beat in the next election I ran for Congress, and Gary was really upset with me because of the position I took on behalf of the city of Hammond. I would do it again because I'm the mayor of Hammond first and foremost. And I knew what that boat would do if it was allowed to be placed on the highway. It's going to take all the business in the region. And it's basically taken most of the business. But what that does in the city of Hammond is we have formulas, we call it the cheese grater, that the money gets plugged into the cheese grater and it goes to different committees and it goes to district councilmen, it goes to mayor's gaming, but it's all a function of how much money is going into the cheese grater, how much casino money. And if that drops, there's less money that gets through the cheese grater and there's less money to be able to do projects like maintenance and road work. And the road work we're doing right now, it's big project work, is done, it's been years in advance. A lot of it's through federal monies, and we're doing a lot of road work right now. Annoying. Roads are still shut down all over. The thing that we're not doing well right now because of the gaming money is the maintenance. That's what we are not doing as much of this year. And when I say not doing as much, we're not doing any maintenance this year, other than what Felix's crew is doing, patching and preserving. We're not doing what we should be doing. And it's affecting East Chicago, just like Hammond. It's affecting Michigan City, the gaming boats. Hard Rock's the biggest boat in the state now. And it's taken, by the way, so should I be optimistic? Knowing what we know now, okay, we're struggling in 2024 because what's going on in the gaming situation. So is 2025 going to be any better? I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I'm going to tell you with a resounding no, it's not going to get better. It's going to probably get worse. There's going to be another casino that opens up on the south side of Chicago within months. That's going to take a big part of Hard Rock's money. It's going to also take a big part of the smaller piece of pie we have. So where we're sitting right now, it's going to drop. And it's going to drop, and it's going to go through the cheese grater with less money, and what comes out is going to be even less in 2025. This is a problem. And we have a plan that we're approaching the council with to address this, and we're going to have to negotiate with the council and see what we could do to solve this, because we could get away with this 1 year, but I don't want to do it 2 years. Maintenance. We need to maintain our roads, and we're not doing it right now. So that's a good question, and it's a timely question. And we have budgets coming up, and we have to approach it differently. I could tell you that municipalities all across Northwest Indiana have a wheel tax, and that's what they use it for. And that's a bad thing to say. I've never had to do that in Hammond, because why would we pass a wheel tax when we have the best gaming boat in the state of Indiana funding our road projects? I'm not going to tax our residents when we're doing well already. Now we're getting our butts kicked, and we're not doing any maintenance. So we have to talk. Words that nobody wants to talk about. But I'm in charge of running our government. And this is part of running government is we got to pay our police and firemen. We have 300 miles of roadway we have to maintain. We have pipes underneath all those roadways we have to maintain. This is costly stuff. And if the bills are going up in your household like they are going up in my household, can you imagine what the bills are doing for the city? They're going up a lot. And we have decreased revenue coming in from the boats. We've always been able to rely on that for decades. That's not reliable anymore. So we're getting squeezed. I'm not worried about the future of the city. I'm not worried because we have a lot of revenue sources. But anytime you take a big hit, we've lost $15 million in gaming revenue. $15 million out of our budget. $15 million that we're used to plugging into our roads. It's not there. It's not coming back. That's why when I see Hammond residents at Hard Rock, I want to punch myself hard in the face. When I see Hammond residents at Hard Rock, it makes me insane because they're killing us right now. When I see Hammond organizations having events at Hard Rock, I want to punch a freaking wall because that casino should have never been put there in the first place, in my opinion, and it's cleaning our clocks right now. And as such, I have to make difficult decisions as mayor. So that's where we are. And I don't want to get ahead of the council because I respect the council. And we're talking about this process through the budget process. So thank you for the question. I think I've been pretty clear about what's going on. Nabil, how you doing, sir? Hold on, sir. Hold on. We'll get you. Nabil's been coming to Mayor's Night Out for 20 years. I knew him before I was mayor, and he looks the same.
You know, I have noticed that when I drive in East Chicago, they've been paving lots of road all over. And I've noticed that Hammond is not like the same as East Chicago in doing the roads. And I wonder, what do they have more money, or they are indifferent? Plus,
Well, they're like geographically.
Plus about the Hard Rock.
Hammond has 300 square miles of roads.
Yeah, they have
right, Dean?
bigger than
300 linear miles. How many do you think East Chicago's got? Just comparing city. 80?
80 miles.
Maybe? No, I don't think it's bigger than 80.
Do they have more money there? I think
I don't know.
Senator here in East Chicago.
We could have Mayor's Night Out in East Chicago. You can go ask him. All right.
Senator is from East Chicago. I don't know.
I know.
Senator.
Yeah.
What the difference is, like the money spent, or what's the difference that sometimes I look at
Let's
East
talk to Copeland. I don't know. You're at Mayor's Night Out in Hammond.
Let me tell you, you've been a good mayor for
No,
the
I
last
know.
20 years, and Hammond is getting better and better, but we
agree.
drive every day
Well, you know-
on our road, and we see like we're not getting the same. That's the only issue.
I don't think it's that bad. It needs to be maintained, but it's not like, all right. So everybody's got their own standards. I guess I'm lucky I have a truck. I guess it gets me. But East Chicago, Mayor Copeland's a good mayor in East Chicago. Okay? He's done great things in East Chicago. I've done great things in Hammond too. And one of the things that we do in Hammond that's different from East Chicago is, whether you like this or not, and this is something we have to debate in the council as well, is we pay for all of our kids' college education. And that's not cheap. I mean, college bound's not cheap. We calculated, you know how much City of Hammond spent on college bound over the last 20 years? $55 million. Went into our kids, went into the City of Hammond. Granted, we could have done other things with that money, $55 million. But there's a reason that we're the biggest city in Lake County, in my opinion. We took that spot. We didn't lose population like our neighbors. We gained population. We held population, excuse me. But so like everybody does it different. We still pay for our kids' college education to this day. It's a great program. We receive national awards for it. But so every city prioritizes things differently. Mayor Copeland has done a great job, and especially in the harbor. When I drive through the harbor, I think Mayor Copeland's done a wonderful job, you know, but everybody's got different priorities. So thank you, Nabil. All right, let's go.
How often are the new trees on Kennedy Avenue from 164th to 169th being watered?
Every time it rains? No, that's not going to work. Ann. Hi, Ann. Hi, Mayor. This is Ann Taylor.
Hi, everybody. This
She's the head of planning and development, by the way.
Planning and Development. The city invested over $5 million in that project to redevelop Kennedy Avenue into more walkable neighborhood.
Sound like presidential candidates.
We-
They're like, how often does it get watered? And you're like, they spent $5 million on that project.
I was kind of laying down the plan first. I do believe, and Dean can confirm, that the construction company, the design company who did that, has a contract to water the trees for at least one growing season.
Really?
And then it's up to the city to water after that.
We're going to have to think about that, obviously.
Yeah.
But one of the things, the reason we went to Ann with this question is Ann worked real close with the national renowned planner, Jeffrey Speck, on the downtown Hammond project. So she had a lot to do with what we ultimately ended up doing on Homan Avenue. And then we learned so much working with Jeffrey Speck on that project, we stole his idea and did it on Kennedy.
That's correct.
Right. So that's why we went to you with that.
Yep, that's fine. And at this point, the Hammond Urban Enterprise Association, who has a zone across Hammond, is going to be doing the landscaping on Kennedy Avenue and in downtown, because we invested so much money to create these neighborhoods where people can hang out, have commerce, retail, restaurants. We want to keep them up. We want to keep them looking good. So,
Agree with you.
Yep,
Thank you.
we're gonna keep that up.
Hi. We got follow-up?
Yeah, that was my question.
Thank you.
So I've been walking down Kennedy Avenue, and the trees are dying, okay? All those new trees, you're talking about money, all those new trees are dying. And I realize it's fall and they change colors, but these are new trees. I Googled today, And I was involved when they planted trees at Lost Park and over by the fire station. Those trees are supposed to get between 5 and 10 gallons of water a week. Those trees have not been watered, Mayor, in a while. Some of them are actually dead, and a lot of them are in really bad shape. And all that investment in those trees is going to go down the tubes
All right.
if somebody doesn't address that issue.
We're on it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's not lovely. Jim, we got a tree guy working with you, right?
Yes, we do have a tree guy.
He's a Hessville guy, too.
I'm sorry?
He's from Hessville, too.
He is a Hessville guy. Yes,
Right.
he's actually at the Park Foundation meeting tonight and not here to answer this. We can maybe talk to streets, I guess.
You
We
guys
don't
to-
have
we
anything
gotta do
that
something.
waters.
Like, we're
Yep.
getting, what happens sometimes in government is Ann knows that this company is responsible for it for a growing season, and then these guys are like, no, that company's got it. And then, like, I'm thinking he's got it, and then everybody's pointing fingers at each other. I promise you, we'll water it, and we'll track it through this season and see what we can do, okay? So you guys work through it, please. Get the oven out there. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for bringing that up, sir.
Now that 169th has been repaved, is 167th on the list in the near future?
169th was a state job, for the record. It's beautiful. I don't love it because it speeds up the traffic, and especially like in front of this school. It goes to 4 lanes, which is amazing to me as a cyclist, right by the bike trail. But it's a state highway, and they decide what happens here. So 167th would be a local issue. We'd go to the Capital Improvements Board. You know what I mean about how it opened up on 69th? It used to be like squeezed like 1.5 lanes, and they literally opened it up to 4 lanes and painted it. So now people are flying on
So
69th.
much of 169th was widened as part of a federal aid project years ago, and this segment was missed.
Yeah.
Right.
It was
and
safe, though.
It was basically unimproved.
It was better unimproved. I don't say that very often.
You
Now
do
it's
not.
like, as a cyclist, I feel like I'm a target now. I never felt like that before. But what were we talking about?
When are we going to pave
67th,
167th?
yeah. By the way, Dean, I went through a whole monologue about maintenance, and I didn't really talk to you about that. Was I telling accurate? I mean,
yes, 100%. Yeah.
Like, what's your thoughts on this issue?
We don't have enough money to do maintenance in the city, right? I mean, we're funding these federal aid projects, primarily Summer Street, which is going on right now, is a $14 million project.
And we had to fund our end of that, which is millions, right?
Yeah, we had, with the help of the water and sewer departments, they paid for their
And that's an
infrastructure.
important project, Summer Street, and we had to do a total reconstruction there, and Councilman Werpel talks about this story a lot. We walked through that neighborhood and watched devastation in that neighborhood. Houses that were destroyed by a flood. And so this is years later, and we're finally done with Summer Street, and we have 50 other problems, you know? But that ate up a lot of our money.
Yeah, next year's plan is to focus on Columbia Avenue, if we get the match money from the state.
Which is
to
another
do
major
that.
problem,
Right.
collapsed infrastructure towards City Hall.
And we have a future plan for Columbia Avenue to deal with all the infrastructure. Right now, we're just trying to
And
keep
then,
it
so you got
alive.
all these huge federal aid projects that we're getting money for, and you don't have much left over to do the maintenance work that we need to get done, right?
Right, I mean, we have to leave some of that funds available when change orders happen. So we're just paycheck to paycheck right now, trying to get projects completed.
When you first came on as engineer, we were doing how much a year in engineering?
$2.5 million worth of resurfacing.
Just resurfacing?
Just resurfacing.
How much would a typical year be that we were doing road projects with casino money?
Probably close to 20 million.
And we're doing what this year?
Resurfacing, not much, right?
Mhm.
We're doing about $8 million worth of work right now. That's what the Capital Improvement Board has available to it, and that's been diminishing.
And it's a function of that formula. And the smaller the number gets that goes in, the smaller the number that comes out. So, Councilman?
I get asked this question a lot because it divides the 5th district and the 3rd district. And, you know, the mayor talks about the loss of revenue from the boat. And I happened to be council president in 2020 when you used the analogy of a family has to pay their bills. When we lost that boat during the pandemic, it was like not only did we have to figure out a way to pay the bills, but it was like we were laid off too. So we created the Capital Improvements Board. I can tell you this, I think the first project I ever did as far as resurfacing was Bertram Avenue, and for 2 blocks, it cost $50,000. In today's dollars, that's $100,000 for 2 blocks. It's not cheap fixes. And like I said, we had plans to get it done after the construction was done over there, but we had to create the Capital Improvement Board, and I think the projection we saw was somewhere around 20 million possibly, when we were used to getting 35 to 40 million from the boat every year. That's how much it's dropped. And like he said, and then like the mayor said, with Chicago and the boat in Gary, we're gonna have to get more creative. And the thing is, like 169th was just done. That was planned 2 years ago by the engineer, Dean Button, and he got a federal or a state grant for that, wasn't it? And we're getting creative that way, but sooner or later, we're gonna run out of options, so.
Thanks, Councilman. All right. Any follow-up on that? All right, cool. Let's move forward.
About a year ago, at a community meeting, we were informed that the building at Hesville Park is planned to be raised. What is the status?
A building at Hesville Park. Which building?
Corner.
Huh?
Bargain.
Oh, that, yeah, it's a piece of junk. I hate that building. I see it, I want to punch myself in the face every time I see it. I have these thoughts all the time. It's probably not healthy. Kevin?
I have an update on that, Mayor.
Nice.
Ann.
Hi, Ann.
So it is privately owned, but we have made an offer on it to acquire it.
It's junk.
Yeah.
Junk.
It is junk.
It looks like
Yeah.
junk. Nick, code enforcement, you agree? Like junk
I do,
city,
Mayor.
right?
Yep.
It's like blight, and it's a nice area. It's like,
Yep.
it makes, and by the way, that property just to the north is junk too.
Absolutely.
It's
Yep.
like, drives me crazy. But like, we have to be careful not to get our butt sued, because that costs money too. So like, we have to proceed cautiously, but I hate that building, hate it. I want it to go away, and I want that park to expand, and I want it to be nice, but we have to proceed cautiously. But Nick, you know what that building looks like?
Yeah, I remember the property that came up last year. I actually went by after the meeting, and it was unsecured, so we had a board up done the next day. And then I corresponded with Kevin Smith to verify whether the order to repair or demolish was proceeding, and then reach out to redevelopment. And they're working with the owner to acquire it, and then make it part of the park.
I'm not nostalgic. If I ever get proper control of that, it'll be on the ground, I promise you, okay? When we get control of it, I promise you. I hate that building. Drives me crazy. I see it every day of my life, okay? I'm not so nostalgic about its next door neighbor either, by the way. I know there's people that are, though, about the Little Red Schoolhouse. I like scratch my head and wonder why that's there, because we could do a lot more. Nobody ever uses it. Like, why is it there? Did Thomas Jefferson go to school there or something? Am I missing something, right? Like, I don't get it, right? But I don't know. That's something we should talk about. But I'm not nostalgic like that. If I ever get control of that building, it's history, I promise you. And we will. We'll get control of it, okay? But it's junk. I don't know what else I can say. I mean, if anybody have follow-up to that, I mean, I hope that person's not watching. He probably is. Oh, that's not your building. Is it? God dang, I'm sorry. Are you serious? God, you scared me, man. That was a good one. You scared the hell out of me, man. All right, let's move on. The goal is not to get sued at Mayor's Night Out, so.
What's the update on providing crossing guards for students crossing dangerous and harmful walking paths?
Interesting fact, the city of Hammond pays for crossing guards. City, we've always paid for them. That was shocking to me when I took over as mayor. I was like, what? You would think the schools do that, but no, it's through the police department. So, Chief, did you hear that question?
Can you repeat it so I can hear it?
Crossing guards. Eileen, could you read that again? She's moved on long. It was, yeah. You got like an encyclopedia over there? Okay, it's crossing guards.
What was the status of adding crossing guards?
Thanks, Jim.
Well, we continuously advertise that we're looking for more crossing guards, but honestly, a lot of people are not applying for this job. But I do.
How much do they make, Chief?
They make $18 an hour.
That's not bad at all. And they get what? Every day they get 2 hours?
about 3.
3 hours a day. That's great.
And so some of the areas that don't have crossing guards there, I know myself, Kelly, Mickey, and Tom Strabavi, we've been dispatched over there. I can honestly say I do have a red stop sign in my car, so I get out there sometimes.
Oh, you got to tell me when that happens.
No. But yeah, we do it.
Thank you, Chief. Tom, you got anything to add? Captain Strabavi? Yeah, nobody's gonna hit you.
Thank you. Freeman's a project coordinator for the crossing guards, and he's always has applications out looking for people. So
How do
if anybody
they-
in the room is interested,
Do you know any schools in particular that are open? Because it's usually people from the neighborhood that are doing it, right?
correct. Yeah.
Do you know any particular areas that we're worried about?
Not off the top of my head. I have to check
Okay.
with him, sir.
So if they call you at the Hammond Police Department, they call.
They call up to Community Affairs, and then Community Affairs, somebody will get a message, and then we'll get it to him, and then he'll return the call ASAP.
Community Affairs at the Hammond Police Department, or you can contact Sharon in personnel, okay? If you want to be a crossing guard and make 3 hours a day, $18 an hour, it's pretty solid. Thank you. Thank you, guys. All right.
Can residents please be reminded of the recycling schedule?
Yeah.
City's recycling schedule.
Mine's Saturday, and I live pretty close by. Felix? This is the reason we're looking at you perplexed. We don't pick it up anymore. It's a private company that picks it up. So like mine's on Saturday every 2 weeks, okay?
Mine was yesterday, or Monday every 2 weeks, and I'm just right around the corner. You could go to gohammond.com, Public Works, and go to the recycling program, and there's a map. You could type in your address. and
What
it'll
if
pop up.
what if you're not computer inclined? Like,
You could call my office, 853-6433, and
so you
one of
call
our-
Public Works?
Yeah, and
Then
one
you
of
could
our
say, this is my
secretaries-
address, when do I
Yeah.
get picked up?
Yeah,
So-
they'll come, they'll
Hi,
type
ma'am.
it in. And
I had a feeling it was your question. You looked very interested in the answer. It's okay. Hi.
Hi. I posed the question because in my neighborhood, it was always the first and the third Fridays.
Okay.
Sat my can out, because I don't leave my garbage cans out because of all the other stuff. And I found out that now they're doing it regardless of the first and the third Fridays. They're offering, if there's 5 Fridays in a month, then they have the 5th Friday. And I'm just like, who knew this?
Okay.
Because
Did they miss your
watching
pickup,
this
ma'am?
for a while.
Did they miss you?
They put me in touch with the Republic Recycling people who reiterated that, and I just said, well,
Okay.
do all of us residents know this?
I know. But like Republic doesn't work for you and I do. Okay? So I'd rather you call us and we'll try to help you. Because I have people in your neighborhood that could probably help you out. Felix, this comes up, right?
Oh, all the
When you have lovely neighbors that's an honest mistake and then they're overloaded with recycling.
Yep.
We have supervisors that could help you out. We don't want to make it a habit, so like our supervisors are doing it every 2 weeks, but if it's like a heartbreaking case like this, you're breaking my heart. I think we could help you. Oh, sorry. I just got a cramp in my back. Sorry. I think, but like we have, each district has a supervisor. Where's my 5th district supervisor? Jeff. Hi, Jeff. Jeff's in the back. See Jeff Rutherford right here. So like we would send a supervisor. Jeff, could you stand up so I can embarrass you? You see this guy going around your district? Thank you, Jeff. That's Jeff Rutherford. He's a great guy. Jeff drives around your district in a marked car. Jeff, do you have people come up to you all the time and say, hey, what's going on? All the time, right? I intentionally pick nice people for these spots. Like Jeff's a nice person. So if you walked up to him, he's nice, right? And if you said, Republic confused me, my recycling didn't get picked up, I just know the kind of guy he is. He'd be like, ma'am, throw your recycling in the back of my truck, and he would take care of it for you, okay? That's just the kind of guys we have working in Public Works, and especially the district supervisors, because we know that Jeff's going to be approached like that. So his truck is highly visible. If you guys see him, introduce yourself, because he could help you out. Felix, right? That happen all the time?
Daily, yes.
Yeah. Nick, do you have your 5th district supervisor here by chance? Sure do. Hey, Jason, what's up? Jason, could you stand up? This is Jason Hawkins. You're a resident of the 5th, Jason? Huh? And then which one? In Hessville. He's 6th district, but we like him in the 5th because he does such a good job, okay? But Jason's a great guy. He's in code enforcement. He's assigned to your district. So if he sees things that like litter on property or people parking their car on the grass, Jason eats that up, all right? Jason's also super nice. I pick people on purpose so that you could approach Jason and you could call him, and he lives in the city, so like he's sympathetic. So like if you called him and said, Jason, my neighbors keep parking their car on my grass, I just know the kind of guy he is. He'd make it his life's mission to get the car off the grass, okay? That's the kind of people you have working in your district. So introduce yourself to Jason and Jeff after the meeting. They're in the field every day. That's what they do. So.
Mayor, can I chime in on this?
Sure, thanks.
Both these guys are great. Both Jeff and Jason. I get calls all the time about something that was missed or a problem property with grass, and there's time I call these guys and a half hour later it's done. I remember the first time I called Jason, I gave him an address, and he said, I'll take care of it, and I happened to drive by there as I was on the phone. It was already picked up. So he didn't have the nerve to tell me. I don't know if you remember, but you just told me that, hey, you know, we're on it. So I leave these guys alone, and they're great.
Thank you. Hey, Nick, real quick. Also, Felix, grab a microphone. Every day when you get to work, what's the first thing you check?
The C-Click Fix 301.
Because
complaints.
that's just, it's
Yep.
there waiting for you. Felix?
Same.
So like, I see people like old school, you know, they're like, I talk to my precinct committeeman. Okay, let's take the path, how that works, okay? You talk to your precinct committeeman. Let's say you got a good one. The precinct committeeman's like, I got a meeting with the mayor next week. He's like, yeah, I talked to my precinct committeeman about trash in my front. They could easily be picked up by the city. You go to the precinct committeeman, and I love the precinct system, but that person takes them 5 days to get to City Hall, and then hopefully we'd follow it up right away. Hammond 311 goes right to our office. If it's graffiti, it goes right to graffiti removal. If it's a code enforcement issue, it goes right to Jason's phone. Every day, it goes right to him. So if you want to get right to him on an emergency problem right now, you do it on your phone. Do it through the Hammond 311 app. It's free. It goes right to the applicable department. You can do crime tips on that, Chief, right? So it's a great app. So if you haven't downloaded it, it's got the city seal on it. It's Hammond 311. So thank you. It's my public service announcement. All right, where are we going?
A resident is inquiring about Festival of Lakes music lineup and how they are selected. It says, I used to attend this event, but I cannot continue when some of the artists are now more explicit with their lyrics. Please help me understand why the music selection has changed. I love the groups prior to last few years when the music was rated G.
Okay, that's legit. I hear that. Okay, I'm not upset, but like, first off, I think this year we did really well, like with attendance. I want to say over 75,000 people came to all of our shows. It's accurate. We have counters. And I do acknowledge that some of the acts are very vulgar, okay? No doubt. Unfortunately, most of the popular acts nowadays are vulgar. Even Taylor Swift cusses in her songs, some of them. And she's very nice. It's just sort of the society we live in, unfortunately. And the popular acts, if we want to put on a festival that draws and gives us a chance to break even, you sort of have to set your morals aside. You know, I remember one year, Eileen, because some of the bandas that we bring in, and I'm naive to these, right? And we do really well on Sunday. But I remember one year somebody came to me and said, Mayor, you know this banda you guys brought in is associated with this cartel in Mexico? I'm like, no, I didn't know nothing about that. I just know they're great. I just want to have them play so that a bunch of people show up and have a good time. I have no clue which cartel they're associated with. And if it's a rapper, I have no idea which beef is going on with somebody because I'm clueless like that. I just want to bring acts that are going to bring people out and have a good time. So when I approach the Festival of Lakes, it's like this. I got a diverse city, super diverse. I want to make sure that there's a night for everybody. That's really my goal. I want to be like, I think everybody in my city should be able to look at it and say, that's a night I would be interested in. That's my goal. I realize we're not always successful, and it sounds like this question, the person that asked this question didn't go this year, and I apologize out of morals, and God bless you for that, okay? So I remember the first band that cussed at Festival of Lakes, Candlebox. And it was an F word, and I was going to a church with a lady that's since passed, and she gave me the riot act that next Sunday. I remember it. And unfortunately, there's been a lot of F words since then on the stage. It's just pervasive in entertainment today. So I don't know if you have a follow-up to that. Hi. How you doing?
Hi, I just want to say I've been here for 1.5 years in the city. I learned really quick though. I've lived all over the country in very large and very small cities. And when I hear people complain about the Festival of Lakes music, there are no other cities that I've lived in that offer something so amazing as the Pavilion, where you can go to a free show on a Saturday or a large show at the Festival of Lakes and enjoy something like that. So I think you all need to move somewhere else and come back, and you'll understand what you have here, because it's very great.
I'm gonna
This
I'm
is
gonna
a
put you
great
on my
thing.
PR team. Are you
So
available?
I want to say thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Is there any follow up on the fest? Hey, TJ. Hey, TJ. What's up?
Hi. So, you know, a lot of towns have, you know, their fall festivals, right? And it's a great place, great time.
Yeah.
And you know, I appreciate it being free to residents, but I went to, I went and the parking was really expensive.
Where? This
And-
at ours?
Sorry?
At ours, you mean?
Yeah.
40 up close, 25 for the economy lot.
Right, yeah. And
20? It was 20? Oh, my bad. So 40 and 20.
Right.
And that 20 is a pain in the butt. Got to take a bus there. I get it.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, it's kind of like in the middle of nowhere. You know, I mean,
Yeah,
you can't
like-
really walk there. There's no public transit there, and I couldn't even. I mean, maybe there was. I couldn't even find a drop off place.
It is the kind of place you
So-
get dropped off, or you take a bike, or you're driving.
Yeah. So I mean, would there be any way? I know a lot of people come from Illinois. Is there any way to get like discounted parking for residents or anything like that?
Not really. I don't even know if that's legal, but we do things where I think residents would know about it as opposed to somebody from Illinois. We have discount periods, Eileen, right? Where you could get in early and get discounted parking. Isn't that true?
That's not correct.
Oh, I thought there was like certain, if you get in earlier,
No,
it's
those are
cheaper.
for VIP experience.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Depending what
Okay.
announcement happens.
If you get in,
Parking
you
is
get
one price
Okay.
from announcement
So
till.
sorry, TJ. Yeah, it's expensive. Like, but like, I do want you to know though, it's not like that's padding the city budget.
It's a lot of like kids going and everything
Yeah.
too. You know, so it's like.
I agree. Like this year, we had more kids than at any fest, and there wasn't a lot of cussing that night, if any. Marshmallow, I don't think one bad word was said, and it was hundreds of little kids. That was the first time I've seen that at a fest act, and not a lot of cussing that night, but we did have acts that crossed that line, I acknowledge. But the parking revenue goes to, just like the revenue we get from the alcohol sales, just like the revenue we get from the rides and people that pay to be booth there, we take all that revenue and we use it to try to break even. And sometimes we're there, sometimes we're not.
I was just curious. Yeah.
Right, and if we did make it cheaper, we could do that, but I'd probably have to step it down on the types of acts we offer. And then if we did that, we may not have a lot of people that wanted to park there, which is funny how it works, but, so thank you.
And Mayor?
Yes, sir.
There's Uber and Lyft drop-off that's right across the street.
You
so
guys did make that real, it's literally,
Right across the street.
yeah, I know you made it a lot easier this year with the drop-off point, right? Yes. Right. So basically, I think that it's possible to go to the Festival of the Lakes for free if you're a Hammond resident, and you can go on a bike, definitely free. What do you do with bikes there? Is there like a bike drop-off, Jim? No? Because they do that at Wrigley.
I'm sorry? No.
We don't have that.
People do ride their bikes and lock them up.
Oh,
They ride their bike and lock it up.
yeah, some of the trails blocked off where we're at because of
Security.
all the people that are there.
Right.
I know a guy that canoed there one time.
Oh, yeah?
Is a city engineer.
Did you charge him? Oh.
He got around the charge there.
Yeah,
Nobody
right.
expected that.
Right. So, all right, any other fast questions? Yes, sir. Okay, microphone.
When I
Oh, we were talking
like
about the
20,
fest.
no, 25 years ago, we have BB Amoco, we
Uh-huh.
have all the steel company, casino, and now the state is taking all the money. And now at the same time, the area is not getting like what it need, even portion, because they try to raise the taxes, but I don't think the tax is enough. All my question is our representative in this area, in the Congress and the Senate in the Indianapolis, are they able to communicate with the state so we can get portion for our infrastructure in this area that's lacking?
Thank you.
Because the tax is not enough to handle all this infrastructure. This is my question. If we can ask them to.
Let me answer it.
That's the question.
Frank Mervan grew up in Hammond. He doesn't live in Hammond, but he grew up in Hammond. I would be lying to you if I told you he hasn't helped since he's been a congressman. He's helped tremendously. $50 million City of Hammond got, right, Megan? Where are you? How much was it? 50 million? 54, something like that?
That's correct.
I mean, and we used that to fund infrastructure projects, which included a lot of road work, but I'd be lying to you if I told you he hasn't been a tremendous help. Him and I aren't besties. But all right, I'm answering your question. Now, Mike Braun, who's a lot of people think are going to be our next governor. I've never really talked to him. I don't think he's ever come to Hammond. And if he has, he certainly didn't stop by City Hall. I don't think he helps at all. And he's going to become our governor. And he said one of the big problems in Indiana is our taxes are too high. I just don't get it. So, like, they don't understand. I mean, I'm working with the police department right now. I love the police department. They're asking for big pay raises, and they deserve them, right? Things aren't getting cheaper. And then for a guy like Braun to say he thinks that cities need to take a haircut on the money, I don't know what I would tell you. I don't know how we would operate if what he's saying, and much less, and I don't know the schools, and I can't talk about what's going on in Hammond schools because I'm not in charge of that, but I would dare say that would be devastating for Civil City, for our police and fire. It'd be devastating for our road work. It'd be devastating for School City. I just don't get, I get it's cool to cut taxes, but you also have to pay the bills. I just don't. People are coming to Indiana because of our low taxes, Nabil. We've brought $1 billion in new economic development. A lot of those new projects are here because of our low tax rate, right? But we still got to pave the roads and pay our police and firemen. We have basic and our teachers and fund our schools. But like, it's cool now to be like, I'm going to cut taxes 25%. Are you kidding me?
Infrastructure. That's all what we're asking for.
Well,
we need infrastructure road in this area, and we have BP Amoco, we have all these factories
Yes,
that
sir.
took all the money, but we need it here because
I
it's
love you,
part
man.
of
I
our
appreciate you.
community.
I appreciate
This
what
is
you
what
said.
I am asking for.
I agree.
Now, maybe a congressman can ask, we need the money, and you guys took all the money. That's
Okay.
all what I'm
All right.
asking.
All right, let me
Because
ask you. All right.
The taxes went up at that time to 8% in our area, if you remember.
Initially, yeah.
And now
But now it's
they
capped.
back to 2 and 3. But
Yes, sir. Okay.
I think we're going to get more taxes, real estate tax, so we can fund our infrastructure. This is what I'm asking. The
I know, I'm
question.
trying to answer.
This is part of our money that's here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I think that Jennifer McCormick, who's running for governor, has a completely different plan than Mike Braun. And we need to do our research and vote for the person you think is best. I don't think the problem in Indiana is that the cities have way too much money. I definitely don't think that's a problem. I think that we're all talking about symptoms that are indicating we don't have enough money. And what's going on in the schools are symptoms of not having enough money. So when I hear a guy like Mike Braun say he thinks that municipalities are a waste, it makes me just wonder where the hell he is. I don't think he knows what he's talking about. But it doesn't matter because this is Indiana and they don't care what I have to say. So what I'm telling you is I don't think we're wasteful. I think we need more help. And you asked specifically, I think Frank Mervan's helped us a lot, personally. He has. I would be lying to you if I told you. If I let politics get in the way, I'm voting for Frank because we've done projects that we could never do in Hammond because Washington, D.C. came through for us, and it was him. So I'm voting for him, right? But everybody has to do their own education. But I can't understand why anybody would say cities are wasteful because we're struggling in Hammond. We're struggling. And, you know, we have a lot of work to do. So I appreciate the question, Nabil. Any other questions? Hi. How you doing, sir?
Yes, again, hello.
My man.
Yeah, problem too, we're trying to cut down, and people appreciate the mosquito spray, but we got to think hard again. What do we have a code on pools that are not working? You got standing water, sanitation. If we don't drill holes in the bottom of the containers to get rid of the standing water, well then, what's the use of coming out and spraying? It's like it does the neighborhood good for one day or one night, and we're back to mosquitoes. And we got to think about Gibson Park, Indy Illy, Wolf Lake.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Okay, any more questions?
2 more,
Nice.
and a few announcements.
All right.
Verbatim from a resident, I live on Southeastern. The only business on my street is the funeral home. Yet we have semis, tankers, car carriers going down the street, making it very noisy. Road crews are frequently repairing the street. Why isn't Southeastern a no truck or no semi?
Good question. I can tell you before Felix answers this, we went through this city, this semis, I hate them also. We put up hundreds of signs. We wanted to clearly delineate to these truckers, when you're not on a truck route, you see tons of red signs that say, this is not a truck route. You're gonna get fined. We put hundreds up to help the police department. So that when the police department pulls them over, trucker says, I'm not from Hammond, I didn't know that. And they say, there's a sign right there. And then we nail them. We nail them. Kevin, do we nail them?
Yes, to the point that we're getting complaints from truck drivers and their attorneys that we're being too tough on them.
Does that make you sad? I'm not sad because they drive right in front of your house. They're rude. They have no regard for our city. So we return the favor. And we put these signs everywhere. This is a pet peeve of mine. So like, this question is right where I love it. Felix, Southeastern. If I'm off the top of my head, I'm saying that's probably a truck route? No?
I don't believe it is.
It's not? Dane, not? Is it properly marked?
What was that?
Sorry, I swallowed something.
Oh, yes. It should be. I'll double check tomorrow, but as far as I know, it is marked with no truck signs.
Captain Bunner?
However, you have to take into consideration, excuse me, sorry, thank you. Local deliveries, there's the Aldi,
Yes, sir.
just right there off Columbia. There's all those gas stations. I mean,
I'm assuming this person understands that if it's a local delivery, it's different. Because I have a local delivery by my house. It's a pain in the butt. We have to like go around it, but we understand every once in a while this stupid truck blocks the whole neighborhood, and everybody that lives by me knows what I'm talking about. I imagine this is not a local delivery, that trucks are going down Southeastern. So
we will
could
definitely add it to the list. And I'm on that street usually twice a day. That's my favorite route to get to and from work. So I've never seen it. If I see it, trust me, you'll see a black pickup truck with a semi pulled over.
I remember right in front of this school, I took a picture of one Hammond cop. Was it Rich? It was Rich? That pulled over like 3 trucks. One guy, he had like 1 on one side of the street and 2 on the other. And I was so impressed. I like took pictures of all the truckers, and then I may have said a couple words on the way out. Like, welcome to Hammond kind of thing. But it wasn't exactly that. So we hate trucks. I'm anti-truck. I'm anti-semi-truck. So I promise you, like, we're in the same team on this one, okay? I think Ken hates me on the Governor's Parkway. He's a good, but I think Ken and I are probably on the same page on semi-trucks, right, Ken? Everybody hates semis, right? Like, yeah, man. All right, Ken likes semis. My bad. In their appropriate locations. So I was looking for Symbatico right there. So, all right, let's do the last question.
This is actually a suggestion for
All right.
opening day at the new Hammond YMCA.
Nice.
Opening day at the new YMCA in Hammond. Village people singing the original YMCA song, either the original band or local band.
You're the special events coordinator. This should be directed to you. First off, I'm not sure that the village people are still alive, are they? Is it the original members? I would do that one. All right, I would do the Navy guy.
I'll do the Indian.
I'll do the Indian. All right. So while we're here talking about the YMCA, does anybody have information on the new Y that they want to bring up? It's opening for members, I want to say November 15th, right around there? November 10th? For existing Y members?
For Hammond Y members, I was at a meeting last week that said that the 10th through the 13th, existing Y members could walk through the facility.
Oh, not work out yet?
Right.
Okay.
Then the Sunday is YMCA Family Day, where they just the YMCA employees can walk through and participate. And then Monday, I think that's, I'm trying to look here, Monday the 11th Is that right?
You know what I'm going to do?
I don't think that's right. I think it's Monday the 18th. It should be open to the general public.
Okay, you know what we're going to do? Based on this question, at the next Mayor's Night Out, funny enough, is at Hess Elementary School in the southeast corner of our city. It's the 6th district. Eileen, could we see if we can get somebody from the YMCA to do a presentation?
Yeah,
about
absolutely.
about Destination
Next Mayor's
Y?
Night Out?
So we'll do like a 5-minute, 10-minute YMCA presentation at the next Mayor's Night Out. I was lucky enough to, along with the Hammond Council members and some other elected officials, to walk through. This is completely spectacular, what they're doing right there next to the Sportsplex. It's a game changer. The pool is amazing, and that's just the next phase is outdoor water park, outdoor pool, like moving out towards 165th. That's the next phase, and it's happening. So this is a real special thing for us. And that part of the city has got a lot of traction right now, and I just want to say thanks to everybody that's helped us get to this point. But I suggest when you can get out there to take a look at what they've done, go out and consider joining the YMCA. It's really going to be a special place. So do we have any other questions, Eileen?
Don't have any other questions. However, we do have some department heads who want to make some announcements.
Great.
We can start with Juan.
I love department head announcements.
Hi, Juan J. Moreno, Economic Development. Tomorrow we're going to be hosting our 20th annual job fair at the Hammond Civic Center from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. If you know anyone that's underemployed or unemployed, please spread the word. We're going to have industries such as government, gaming, sales, finance, education, manufacturing, and healthcare. And those looking for seeking a job to be a cross guard, the Hammond Police Department does have a table there as well. So hope to see everyone there tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, Juan.
One more, Mayor. Lake County Hazardous Waste will be at the Public Works Complex from 9 to 2 this Saturday. At the Public Works Complex, 601 Conkey.
Jack?
HC3 presents Movie at the Park. That'll be Friday, September 27th. Start time for the movies will be 7 p.m. Bring your chairs and bring your family. It's free admission. Hessville Park.
Hessville Park.
Also, we have our Hammond Fire Department Prevention Open House Saturday, October 5th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Please stop by, everyone. We're going to have plenty of food, demonstrations, beverages. It's a great time. Tell your friends, family, and neighbors. Hope to see you all there. It's going to be at our Station 8 at 6350 Parrish Avenue. I do have some brochures over there at the table. Please take one on the way out. Hope to see everyone soon.
I wanted to close with some sad news. We recently learned about the passing of Annie Burns Hicks, the first African-American teacher in the school city Hammond. We understand she passed peacefully yesterday on September 17th at the age of 87. For those of you that aren't aware, Ms. Burns Hicks opened many doors in the city of Hammond for other African-American educators and leaders within the city of Hammond, as she taught and inspired generations of students and families to be the best they could be in support of their community and making the world a better place. In acknowledgement of her life's work and her impact on the Hammond community, Maywood Elementary was renamed to Annie Burns Hicks Elementary School to forever honor her legacy. Please join me in honoring Annie Burns Hicks' life and impact with a moment of silence. God bless Ms. Burns Hicks. Thank you all for coming to Mayor's Night. Next Mayor's Night Out occurs in Hammond's 6th District.
Oh, Mayor, we have one more thing.
Oh, sure.
Sorry.
Sorry. Hi.
Why? Oh, you're going to, oh, okay. My wife and I are involved in a worldwide campaign to create a drug-free world.
Okay.
We have brochure, little booklets, and some of them come in a little box. This one is just about drugs. It's to educate.
Thank you.
The young people, the older people, anybody that wants
Thank you,
to
sir.
know more about how it can be done.
Thank you. And so if
Create
anybody
a
wants to talk to
drug-free
you,
world.
you'll be available after the meeting?
I'm sorry?
You'll stay available after the meeting if somebody wants to talk to you? Thank
Yeah.
you.
And
Put a lot of boxes. They're little boxes like this
Thank you, ma'am.
that we put, and it's all free.
Where are you guys from?
those all have one of these, and
Huh?
then
We just moved from Florida to
Yeah.
Hammond.
Thank you. What part of Florida?
I'm a native. I was born and raised here.
What part of Florida?
I was born, well, I lived,
We moved from Clearwater.
Clearwater. Nice.
born and raised, I grew up on Beale Street.
Thank you. Thanks for moving back, sir. Welcome back.
So
We appreciate
we
it.
just want anybody that's interested in helping get rid of the drug problem.
Thank you, sir.
We have data that really works.
We just had a homicide the other day. It was drug related. It was drug dealers, yeah, involved. I don't want to get too detailed, but it's sad. Yes, ma'am. Thank you for being a mayor's night. It's a big problem everywhere, but yes, we are not exempt. So thank you all. Love you all. Appreciate you all. Keep up the good work. See you at next mayor's night in the 6th district.